life of ancient Tamilagam. Generally speaking, the land lying between Vengadam Hills and Kumari, with other Dravidian speaking areas in the northwest and northeast, is called Tamilagam. As a part of Tamilagam, Kerala also shares the glorious represented in Sangam literature. Much has been said about the social, political, religious, and economic life depicted in the Sangam literature. Summarization of those findings is not attempted here. Rethinking of some points is envisaged in my talk. The question, how far Sangam literature is reliable for the reconstruction of the formative history of Kerala, stands still relevant. The word Kerala itself is a matter of dispute. This word has no attestation in Sangam literature. It is quite surprising to see that Kerala was known to Sanskrit writers of pre-Christian era, while Sangam poets, among them certainly some Keralites also, never mentioned that word in their poems. Sangam literature is silent about Parashurama legend related to the creation of Kerala and its legendary ruler Mahabali, on whose memory Keralites celebrate Onam. Though Mahabali's name is not found, indigenous epigraphical evidence reveal a glorious history for Onam well before 9th century CE. Also in Madurai Kanji, a Sangam poem, reference is available regarding the Onam celebrations held at Pandyan capital Madurai. There, Onam is celebrated as the birthday of Lord Vishnu, who took the incarnation of Vamana. Mahabali has no role in that festival. Moreover, Sangam literature is silent on the Onam festivals of Cheranadu. It is worthy to note that Nediyon, who wielded the battle axe as mentioned in Agananura 220, has been identified with Parashurama. As per Agam 220, Nediyon wearing axe destroyed several royal dynasties and performed Vedic sacrifice at Chellur, where the sacred fire on the altar was kept burning. Chellur is identified as the present Taliparamba in Kannur district. It is one of the northernmost Brahmin settlements of Kerala. Tradition has it that Brahmins settled in Kerala originally in 32 villages. Chellur lies on the banks of the river Parashini, near Edimalai. Agadwanur is silent on the relation of Parashurama with the Brahmins. Sangam literature is silent about Brahmins and Nair communities of Kerala and their peculiar pattern of family hierarchies. Andanar, Parpar, Iruparapalar mentioned in poems might have been the Brahmin of that period. The behavior pattern of the above categories of Sangam period, such as chanting Vedas, performing morning and evening prayers, discharging 6 duties according to their scriptures, have similarities with the behavior patterns of the Brahmins of Kerala. Nair community of Kerala claims that their traditional occupation is agriculture. They served the country as warriors also, but their family organization, such as Marumakatayam, that is matrilineal succession, and Sambandham, Brahmin's marriage with the Nair women, that is Sambandham, has no similarities with any of the family organizations mentioned in Sangam literature. They cannot be considered as successors of Ulavar or Vellala communities of Sangam literature. Sangam works are not helpful to trace the origin of Nair community and the family organization they followed. It is to be noted here that all the social units found in Sangam literature do not have their equivalents in Kerala. For example, Velalar or Vellalar community is designated as agriculturist in Sangam works. In Kerala, this community is seen here and there only. They are not numerically high. Ulavar, another agricultural community of Sangam period, is not found in Kerala. Einar, Maravar, Ayar, Idayar, Kanavar, Kuravar, Velar, Tuluvar, Paradavar, Valayar, Meenavar communities mentioned in Sangam literature might have been numerically very few, very low in Kerala, and we do not see most of them today except Kuravar and Velar. Certain groups survived as anthropological relics in forests and remote barren areas. Maravar, Madavar, Mallar communities engaged in robbing and plundering activities at the Sangam period are not seen in Kerala, but they exist as dominant communities in Tamil Nadu. Vedar, Kurava, Kollan, Tachan, and Idayan communities with very same appellatives in Sangam period have roots in the social life of Kerala, though their population is meager. Non-existing communities include Kanavar, Eyina, Ulavar, Toluvar, Valayar, Meenavar, and Umanar. This fact compels us to refix the traditional boundaries of Tamilagam, extending beyond Sakhya Mountains to the west coast. The geographical concept of the greater Tamilagam has to be redefined to such an extent so as to exclude certain areas lying west of Sakhya mountain ranges. Paravadar or Pan Magan, the fisherman of Sangam literature, is not seen in Kerala. Paravar is available. Panan, Pulluvan, Velan communities are also seen in the social stratum of Kerala village life. They are seen in many parts of Kerala with the traditional job of singing and dancing. In Malabar, Panan is also known as Malayan. Pulluvans still survived as wandering minstrels. Velan community is mainly seen in the southern and central Kerala and earn their livelihood through making baskets and umbrellas. If you have religious duties in local temples during festival season. It is well known that Kerala is the land of coconut trees. The word Keralam, the land name, also suggests this fact. But it is surprising to see that Sangam literature has not many references on coconut trees. The official tree of the Chera dynasty is Palmyra. Even though west coast of the Chera country is blessed with exuberant growth of coconut trees. Palmyra is not a common tree in Kerala when compared to coconut tree. In all respect, without coconut tree, an ordinary Malayali cannot survive. To such an extent, it is associated with the social, cultural, and religious life of the Malayalis. Even then, why the Chera dynasty had ignored this tree? Did it show that at a Sangam period, there were no coconut trees in Kerala? It is not correct. Coconut tree was popular in Kerala even before Sangam period, as is evidenced by a carving seen in Etakal cave, situated in Wayanad district. Plate 4, figure 1.2, published as part of the essay on Etakal carvings by Fawcett in Indian Antiquary 1901, page 417, clearly shows the picture of a standing coconut tree. Fawcett interprets it as a man fully clothed carrying a palm branch. Some of the place names mentioned in Sangam literature have been identified in the west coast of ancient Tamilagam. Vanchi, also known as Karivur, was on the bank of river Purunei. In the commentaries and colophons of some of the Purananur words, Vanchi is mentioned as Karivur, even though places like Vanjiyur, Tiruvanjikulam, and revenue divisions like Vanjinadu are seen in Kerala, they have no connection with the Vanchi of the Sangam period. Tiruvanjikulam near Kodungalur was Tiruvanjaikalam in Tamil poems. Some scholars identified Tirkariyur near Kodamangalam and Karupadanna at Kodungalur as the ancient Chera capital Karuvur. Proofs available with us are not strong to argue that ancient Chera capital Vanchi was in Kerala. Tundi, Muchiri, Mandai, Aikudi, Umbargadu, Kotambalam, Veliyam, Naravu, Kuttanadu, Pudinadu are the other places supposed to be in Kerala. Among these, Muchiri alone is undoubtedly identified as Musiris of Western records, a place situated on the bank of river Periyar and maybe somewhere near Kodungalur. For some scholars, Koilandi near Kozhikode is the Tondi mentioned in Sangam works. According to Yule, Mande is the present Mangalore. Veliyam with the same appellation of Sangam period is seen in Kollam district. Kuttanadu is a low-lying region in and around Alappi and Kottayam districts. North Kerala, comprising Kozhikode and Kannur districts, was the Pudinadu. Nannan of Edimalai once occupied Pudinadu, and the Chera king Kalangai Kanni Narmudi Cheral recaptured it after fierce battle. Puram 21-23. In Sangam period, Aikudi was the capital of Ai territory. Two Aikudis are in the picture now. One in Kotar in Kanyakumari district and another in Changota division of Eastwhile Travancore state. Ptolemy's reference to Kotiara, that is present Kotar, and later epigraphical evidences tend towards a conclusion that the Aikudi near Kotar was the ancient Ai capital mentioned in Agananuru 198. Umbargad literally means elephant forest. Chera king Chenguttavan is said to have been given this land to poet Paranar as a reward for his song. Whatever it may be, it is difficult to ascertain whether this Umbargad is the Umbargad lying close to Kuttanad in Kerala. Near Kuttanad, there is also a Umbargad. Ilangannanar, who sang a song in Aganalur 264, is from Umbargad. Chenguttavan's attachment with Kuttanad forces one to suggest that the land given to his favorite poet Paranar was none other than Umbargad, lying adjacent to Kuttanad. According to Purananur song 245, Chera king Magodai breathed his last at Kottambalam Tunjiya. Two views on the location of this place are worthy to note. At Kollankod, a place in Palakkad district bordering Tamil Nadu, there is a place and temple named Kottambalam. Another view is that Kottambalam is the present Ambalappuzha of Alappi district. At Ambalappuzha, there is a place called Makkoda Mangalam, where the Chera king Magodai is believed to be buried. No other evidence is available to prove Kottambalam was either at Ambalappuzha or at Makkoda Mangalam. Geographical categories referred in Sangam works such as Malay, Porai, Charal, Kurumburai, Parappu, Vellam help us to explain geographical characteristics of Kerala. Kerala had several place names with words denoting either landscapes and ecosystems used in Sangam literature. Survival of place names of generic and specific character such as Pala, Mulla, Kurinji, Marudam, Neidal, Ur, Kodu, Kulam, Eri, Kanam, Vai, Kolli, Mala, Kudi, Cheri, Kallu, Alam, Agam, Puram, Nadu, Kadu, Kara, Tara are to be considered as a strong evidence to establish the inseparable attachment of Kerala to Dravidian speaking areas and communities of Sangam period. Sangam literature provides no concrete evidence to the evolution of Malayalam language. The inscriptional evidence available from 2nd to 5th century CE shows that the process of the evolution of Malayalam begins at an earlier period. Tamil Brahmi inscriptions engraved in the Edakal cave in Wayanad and one inscription of 5th century CE recorded on a rock at Nedungayam forest in Nilambur of Malappuram district. Then 2 pottery inscriptions got from Pattanam excavation site give evidences to this fact. Some examples: inscriptions at Edakal cave. 1. Vengomali Kachavenu Chatti. Vengomali Kachavenu Chatti. Not the dative case marker there. No. Not Kachavenu Ku. It is Kachavenu. Vengomali Kachavenu Chatti. Reading by Airavada Mahadevan. Palpuli Tatagari. Palpuli. Not Parpuli. Evidently Malayalam. Palpuli. Reading by Airavada Mahadevan. Opapana Vida Edakal cave. Kadummi Puda Chera. An inscription from Edakal cave. Kadummi Puda Chera. Note it. Then another one. Ko Adan. Then recently we got an inscription from deciphered by Dr. Raghav Warrior. It goes like this: E Padamai, E, not Padamai, E Padama, not Padamai. Then Airavada Mahadevan, according to Airavada Mahadevan, the reading is Zri Varumi. Variation in readings. In Nedungayam forest, Tamil Brahmi inscription Mavakode Neer Ana Vai. Mavakode Neer Ana Vai. Not the usage Ana. It is not Anai. It is Ana. Neer Ana Vai. Above inscriptions represent a period between 2nd to 5th century AD. The language of these writings bears genuine linguistic features of Malayalam. A close examination of this language reveals that Malayalam exhibits tendencies to evolve as an independent language centuries before 9th century AD. Kachavenu, Edakal cave inscription, Kachavenu, Kachava 4. Here the word final U after alveolar nasal is a dative marker. In old and medieval Tamil, Innu, Ikku, Ukku are the dative markers. U is a peculiar marker noted for Malayalam after this alveolar nasal. In the word Tatagari, Tatagari means full reading is Palpuli Tatagari. In the word Tatagari, Kari is a derivative suffix. Karan, Kari are the secondary derivative suffixes generally used in Malayalam. Kadummi Puda Chera. This Puda. In the way Kadummi Puda Chera. Puda means son, is a Prakrit form of Sanskrit putra. Kadummi Puda Chera. Chera is the son of Kadummi, literally. Kadummi may be a corrupt form of Kaduman, an epithet of Chera king Mandaram Cheran. Puda, son. Chatti, vigor. Pudi, fame. And Kachavan or Dravidianized Sanskrit forms of Putra, Shakti, Bhudi, and Kashyapa. This suggests that Prakrit and Pali languages functioned as a bridge to connect West Coast dialect of Proto-Tamil Malayalam with Sanskrit in the formative period of Malayalam language. Ko means king or lord. Vira is a corrupted form of Veera, brave. With the sequence Mava, Kod, Near, Ana, Vai. Ana, dam, is worthy to note. Ana instead of Tamil Anai is used here. Replacement by A of I is important. It shows the tendency of Malayalam to evolve as an independent language. Above cited inscriptions also prove the antiquity of the writing system in Kerala. Conclusion. It is an accepted fact that the chronology of the poems collected and designated as Sangam literature is not uniform. They belong to different periods. Each poem has an actual date of composition, yet another date for commentary. In addition, invocatory remarks and colophons might also be of different dates. Hence, a general agreement regarding the age of the anthologies is not possible. So, the use of literature for reconstructing the cultural history of the past has to be executed with the informations available from epigraphical, numismatic, and anthropological findings. Thank you all. Nada Vandu, Kada Vandu, Avala Vandu, Vijaya Vandu, Yavadi Nalavar Adavar, Avadi Nali Varia Nili.
Thank you, sir. So Nadvattam sir has explained with very good examples the early Malayalam or the Sangam literature, Malayalam within the Sangam literature. So if you have any doubts or clarifications, please ask.
Hello, Professor. I'm Rajendran speaking. Hello, I have got a question. Shall I ask you?
Yes. Welcome.
Yeah. Sir, actually, I just of course wonder in the Ramacharita Muchi, of course, I have come across I found a lot of Tamil termination, that personal terminations, and of course there are some views that some Silappadigaram and all literature like Silappadigaram and all now belong to Kerala only. What's your opinion?
There are certain words designated as Malayinattu Vazhakam in all Sangam works. Malayinattu Vazhakam. Even in Tolkappiyam, commentators noted this feature. And when I go through the indexes available on Sangam works, I can note so many Malayinattu Vazhakams which were not now in present day Tamil. For example, one example, Pulukku in Agananur. Pulukku is very familiar in Kerala.
Correct.
But it is not familiar in Tamil language. Like that, Yakkal, nearly 176 I collected these words, and some grammatical peculiarities also is worthy to note in this regard. In any way, we should I think a comparative study is highly needed for reconstructing the for the reconstruction of the Malayinattu Vazhakams noted by commentators and present day scholars also. So in Chilappadigaram also, so many Malayinattu Vazhakams, not in lexical items, but in styles also. And customs, culture, etc. also, there are some similarities. So my assumption is that there was a common stage for our present day Malayalam and present day Tamil. Sangam literature represents the common stage. Common stage. It is not for Tamils only. It is a wealth for Malayalis also. During my studies to prepare a report on the antiquity of Malayalam, I can notice nearly 47 poets belongs to this Malayinadu. 47. When I go through the poems written by those poets, I can notice this Malayinattu Vazhakams also. On that Malayinattu Vazhakams, I identified them as Kerala poets who contributed to the Sangam literature.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sir, one thing I am, I can follow Tamil. I very slow in reading Tamil script because I know only this Devanagari script, then Vattal to some extent, and Malayalam script, and in some extent Kannada also. So,
Professor Karnagaran, sir.
Yeah,
Professor.
thank you, Professor Naduvattamji, for your motivating lecture with particular reference to geographical, linguistic, and literary studies of those days. I don't know whether you can classify that kind of studies during those days based on Tamil related, Malayalam related, and other things. But at the same time, it is necessary to identify the Malayalam, Malayanattu Vazhakam, so that you can try to do some work with particular reference to the culture of those days and compare with the then existed literary studies. That would help to bring out what exactly has happened in that landscape during those days. I don't know whether it is completely one language or there were other languages, but at the same time, it becomes necessary to undertake that kind of anthropology-based linguistic study of those days, identifying the equivalents in literatures and also comparing with the modern Tamil or Malayalam or in literatures after the 6th century BC. No, this is only a suggestion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I will look into the
Another
matter
question.
and study more. When I
Sir,
okay.
sir, editor, yes,
Subramaniam, parayu.
yes. Sir, thank you for our excellent presentation with the systematic data on the communities, with the community names and the place names. But you have raised certain questions regarding the name Kerala. That is already the Sangam literature, the Chera name is there. There is no doubt in lots of places. So that sound change is there. That is already established. That is one thing for your consideration. And also you were telling about this coconut tree and Yadakel Goga. And regarding this kind of plants, we have the Dravidians and especially Tamils or Malayalis have the habit of naming them with the available plants. Even your Kapakadanga or whatever it is, we didn't have this. We had only Kurumilagu, then later this Milagai came. All these things are known. So in Sangam literature, we have many references to the word Panai, but there are adjectives that also we have to consider that in many places it is Irumbanai and in other places it is Kadal Ser Panai.
Karimbani also.
Irumbanai, Karumbanai, Kadal Ser Panai, Manal Ser Panai. In many places these kinds of words are there. And that also we have to think whether they have mentioned this coconut with some other names also we have to think, because it could have been a letter entry. And also you were talking about the Nair system or Parsuraman, that myth, all these things might be later developments, because the Sangam society itself, it was formatting and into different types of societies and agricultural and different communities are evolving in those periods. Might be the Nair community were not they were not identified.
Yes. There possibility for that. I admit also this your argument.
Is also there. Yes, you can make a comment. This I am talking, and we can have more discussion.
Yes.
Please think of my internet connection is also some problem. You please think of this man and who is writing from Germany about the period of Malayalam origin of Malayalam to a much earlier period, and L.V. Ramasami's conclusions on origin of Malayalam. All these things also we can have more discussions on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was.
I wanted to say something.
Yes.
Hello. Dr. Vasu.
Professor Vasu.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think you have outlined everything from Sangam to now. It's a very illuminating talk. One thing I wanted to mention is that we need to look at it, the Malayalam always as a pre-Sanskritization, post-Sanskritization language. So Malayalam as such now is a kind of a Sanskritized language. Unlike Tamil, we had resistance. We didn't allow that to happen. So Malayalam is sort of a Manipravala style language now. So if you want to look at Thangam as such, we have to go back to the pre-Sanskritized language. Like you mentioned, we can do that with flora and fauna, like Balasubramanian also mentioned about, the Panai and several other plants. That's a good example about looking at the culture through Panai. The same thing you can also look at through Kudigal. There are lots of mention about Kudigal in Sangam poems. For example, Tudiyan, Panan, Parayan, Kadamban Yendri in Nangalladu Kudiyillai. So how do you look at it from a Malayalam perspective? In Malayalam as now, how do we look at them in the Kudigal? Now, so what is your opinion about that? I know we have Kudigal in Malayalam also. So if you look at Kudigal, we can probably look at them as a pre-Sanskritized culture. So that's kind of my view. So what do you think about that?
The pre-Sanskritized and post-Sanskritized period. But this Manipravala literature begins after 12th century. Before that, we have no Sanskritized poetry system here. For Ramayanam, our Malayalam's first classical work, lengthy poem, it is Dirmada Samgadacharam, not Sanskrit. Sanskrit is okay there, but it is Dravidian is the Sanskrit. Sanskrit is used in Kalfava form, that is borrowing the changes. And those which can be depicted by the or Dravidian orthography, no change. Talsama. For example, Kamala, it is a Sanskrit word, but it is also can be depicted by using Dirmadakshara. No Sanskrit script is needed there. So what I say is, our earliest literature, that is prior to the period of century, the influence of Sanskrit was very meager. But after 12th century, it gradually increased, and the so-called Manipravala literature came into the force. And it exists here for 3 centuries. And now, highly Sanskritized is Malayalam. Very difficult to avoid them. A man cannot speak Malayalam without Sanskrit words. That is the position now. Also, our youngsters are very particular to freely use English words in their day-to-day talk affairs. In the place of Sanskrit, now Malayalam uses abundant English words.
Yeah, I mean, that happens in all the Indian languages. It's not just Malayalam. So it's an Anglicization period now.
So, Professor, your reference to your suggestion is very, I will look into the matter, and without in your next another occasion, I will present a paper on that in this talk also.
Thank you.
Professor Naduvattam Gopalakrishnan.
Okay.
As you have Rajashekharan Nair.
Oh, not Ramamurthy.
Yeah, no. Ramamurthy will speak now after me. As you have said earlier, that your reading of Tamil script is little. You are reading it with difficulty.
Very slow.
Very slow. But you have gathered so many examples from Fauna Fonda and also place names, etc., etc. And you have pronounced them well. That I really appreciate. The presentation is really good. And when the last point which you have said now, instead of Sanskrit nowadays, English is much used or much mixed in Malayalam.
Day-to-day Malayalam.
Day-to-day Malayalam and also in written Malayalam, and especially in science writings. Science writings. No, actually, although we have glossaries for English to Malayalam, the writers are not actually taking them. They are using only the English words. It is unlike
Without any
Tamil,
change.
Without any change. Unlike Tamil immediately they find out some equivalent, or they will coin it, and they will see that that particular newly coined word is used. But whereas Malayalam is concerned, no such restriction is found among the scholars. This is prevalent. Now, the third one is Dr. Vasu was asking about Kudigal. The same word is found earlier Malayalam and also in modern Malayalam. Kudi means in house. And sometimes we have the distinction between Pera and Kudi. Pera means house, Kudi means hamlet. But in some places, even now, Avan Kudiyil Poi means he went to his house. So the word, as Vasu was asking, which was prevalent in those days, is present now also in many parts of Kerala. It can be either a house or a hamlet. That's all.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's true. The Kudi is different in Telugu also. They look at it differently. In Malayalam, looks like you look at it differently. But the way Sangam looked at it was different. In Tamil culture, we can relate those the idea of Kudi with the caste system now. That is how that Sangam followed on through Kudis. We can mention that. So thanks, Professor Rajendra Nair, about clarification.
Kudi is after denote a settlement. Kudi.
Yes.
I Kudi is a place where I settlement is. I Kudi. Panan Kudi, where Panans are much
group. Settled in group.
Kudi. And the Kudi after
that's heritage.
Ramamurthy sir.
Yes, sir. First of all, let me congratulate you for this wonderful lecture, sir. It is really very fantastic and thought-provoking. And something new, you mentioned that there was no mention of this one, what is that?
Kerala.
God, Thiruvonam.
Yes.
That is not mentioned, and Tengi is not mentioned, all those things. I would like to, mention something like, Tengi is mentioned in Purananuru, but not by the Sera poet. A poet from Borayur. There are two instances of Tengu mentioned in Purananuru. This one thing. And as pointed out by you, it's not by the Chera poets.
No, not by Chera poets.
And second thing is, there's always, all of you are mentioning Kudis. In Tolgapiyam itself, we have this kind of Tinai Kudigal. Tinai Kudigal were mentioned the ethnic communities pertaining to the particular landscape, that is Kurinji, Mullai, Nedal, all those things. But in the same Tolgapiyam, consider them as a kind of marginalized people. They have, even though it mentions about those kind of Tinai Kudigal, but it has given more importance to Parpar, Vendar, and that kind of hierarchy is found. So no doubt in Chera country, the Kudis mentioned in Sangam literature or Kudis not mentioned is not a wonderful thing to be discussed. But I can mention one more thing. The Sanskritization is more in Kerala, even during Sangam period itself. If you take this whole Sangam poet, the influence of Puranic culture or Sanskrit culture started with the Tirumuruga to Padai, and it extended up to Parivadal, then to Kalitohai. Okay, So this mixing of these Puranic stories are due to the influence of Sanskrit. But actually, we don't have this kind of, the Muruga cult, the Velan Variat, all these things were there. That were our original gods. Our original gods were nature. Okay, so the Puranic influence was more during, even in the period of Sangam. It started with the Tirumuruga Padai, and it's not a wonder that the people in Sera country those times were influenced by the Brahmins. I will mention one more point. There's a system called Sadi. The wife has to get into fire along with the husband. Those songs were sung by Sera poets or Sera kingdoms. Whenever you find this kind of Sadi, those were available only in the Sera country. But in Chola and Pandya country, they were all buried. Okay, and this itself shows that during Sangam period itself, there was a heavy influence of Sanskrit over those regions. And really a wonderful speech by you. And we have to think a lot about your Edakal Caves thing. Even those times, the Malayalam was in the evolving stage, and we have to see that with the further evidences. So thank you very much, sir.
Sandosham.
I would like to add one thing to Dr. Ramamurthy's point. What happened in our language at this time of Sangam literature, we were using simple words here and there, but the culture changed later on only, right? But now what we found in our day-to-day language is the Sanskritization in our linguistic structures. We argue in terms of sounds and words and so on. That was not there. The practice, you see, this kind of socio-linguistic aspects, which we discuss in modern way, is not that good for our languages to grow in the coming years. That's my sincere point of order. We should follow. Who are we to frame rules for assimilation of all those Sanskrit words instead of concentrating on our own phonetic and phonological rules to explain our internal changes? That's my question. Okay, thank you.
Professor, this is Senjakumar. Okay.
வணக்கம் சார், தமிழ்ல பேசலாமா கொஞ்சம்?
பேசுங்க.
அவரு நடுவட்ட சார் கடைசியில towards the end of the lecture அந்த நாடாகுன்றோ காடாகுன்றோ அவலாகுன்றோ மிசையாகுன்றோ எவ்வழி நல்லவர் ஆடுவர் அவ்வழி நல்லை வாழிய நல்லேன்னு ஒரு புறநானூற்று பாடி நிறைய இது போல விஷயங்கள் தமிழுக்கும் மலையாளத்துக்கும் பொதுவான விஷயமா இருக்கு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி கடைசியா முடிச்சார் லெக்சரை. பொதுவாக இந்த நாடாகுன்றோ காடாகுன்றோ இந்த பாட்டு ஒரிஜினல் சோர்ஸ் தமிழ் தானான்னு தெரியல. டிபி மீனாட்சி சுந்தரம் சொல்றாரு பாலியில இருந்து வந்தது அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. இட்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் தமிழ் லிட்ரேச்சர். பாலி சாங் ஹஸ் பீன் டிரான்ஸ்லேட்டட் இன்டு தமிழ் இஸ் திஸ் ஒன். காமேவா யதிவாரன்னே மின்னேவா யதிவா தலே யதா விரக முனிவர்கள் எங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கிறாங்களோ அந்த இடம் சாமிங்கா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பாலியில தம்மபதத்துல ஒரு பாட்டு வருது. அந்த தம்மதம பாட்டினுடைய ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்லேஷனாகத்தான் இந்த தமிழ் பாட்டை டிபிஎம் சொல்றாரு. இதை போன்ற சிமிலர் பாட்டு வேற அபபிரம்ச மொழியிலையும் இருக்கு. whether in a lake or in a tank or in a sylvan park, wherever good people live, that place becomes charming. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சில பாடல்கள் தமிழ் மலையாளம் இந்த பவுண்டரியை கடந்து இந்தியாவிலேயும் நிறைய இருக்கிற மாதிரி தெரியுது. அதனால சங்க லிட்ரேச்சரே வந்து இன்னும் நிறைய வந்து இந்திய அளவுல வச்சு பார்க்க வேண்டிய ஒரு பெரிய பரந்த ஒரு இது இருக்குது என்பதை மட்டும் நான் அவருக்கு சொல்றது.
Owayar.
Yes.
Yes, Owayar. Maybe some in Pali literature, I am not a scholar in that language, but T.P. Meenakshi Sundaram, we can trust him. Anyway, it is a common song of Malayalis and Tamilians. Nada Vandi, Kada Vandi, Avala Vandi, Mijaya Vandi, Yawadi, Nalavar Adava, Awadi Nalli, Varia Nilani. Tamil Varia, Malayalam Varia.
Professor Nadana Sabavadi sir.
Dr.
Professor Nadana Sabavadi sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Can I intervene for a minute? You know, Dr. Karthikeyan has said that, this kind of language use was prevalent maybe throughout India. Does it mean that Sindhuveli Nagarigam அது ஏலியர் நாகரிகம் என்றும் அப்பொழுது இருந்த மொழி புரோட்டோ டிராவிடியன் அப்படி இருந்து தமிழாகி எல்லாம் வந்தது என்றும் நாம கருத முடியுமா என்பதற்கு இது வழி வகுக்கும். ஆல் இந்தியா லெவல்ல அந்த காலத்து இந்தியாவுல ஒரே மொழி இருந்ததா, அது சிந்துவெளி நாகரிகத்திலிருந்து வந்ததா, இந்த கேள்விகள் எல்லாம் எழுது. பாலி அது இதோடெல்லாம் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் இருந்திருக்குது, அதுக்கு மேலேயே கூட இருந்திருக்குது. பட் திஸ் கிவ்ஸ் ஆம்பிள் எவிடன்ஸ் ப்ராபப்ளி இருந்ததோ என்று நாம் அதையெல்லாம் பார்க்கறதுக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி டு ப்ரூவ் தட் டிராவிடியன் கல்ச்சர் வாஸ் தி ஏர்லி ஒன். திராவிட நாகரிகம் ரொம்ப முந்தையது என்று சொல்லுவதற்கு இதுல இருந்து ஏதேனும் ரூட்ஸ் கிடைக்குமா என்பதை பற்றி ஆய்வாளர்கள் இதை பற்றி சிந்திக்க வேண்டும். I think the future research should concentrate on this also, because Dravidian roots, Dravidian culture, relationships are found with other language families, other cultures also of those days. This is my request to the researchers in comparative studies, and also the origin of languages and the importance of language and culture in such studies. Thank you.
Professor Yasan sir.
One Vijaya Rajeshwari, I say Vijaya Rajeshwari. Whether she is here? Vijaya Rajeshwari.
Yes, sir. I am here, sir. I am listening to your lecture, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
She is attending the meeting. Professor Yasan sir. மைக் சரியா கேட்கலங்களே.
இத அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
அன்மியூட்ல தான் இருக்கிறார் சார். Sir, it is not audible. Others. Not audible, sir.
காமாட்சி செல்வகுமார் ஏதோ பேசணும்.
செல்வகுமார் சார்.
Sir, Sir, Professor Naduvattam Gopalakrishnan, I am much pleased to listen your lecture. It is very fantastic, and the empirical work and all. Just it is actually, my question is a supplement to what Professor Karthikeyan and Professor Karnagaran asked. There are a lot of mentions in Sangam literature which could be claimed. Sangam literature is not only the document for Tamil, but also to trace out a lot of the cultural and livelihood for other languages too. And all this, where you mentioned that you could understand only, so you could read a little bit Tamil and you can understand. Suppose if it is in English, you can understand, read and speak also through hearing. So how could you just bring out all this this information that mentions whether it is through Tamil commentary or English commentary or straight away? So what? So how did you just come through the data which you have come across?
Mainly depend on the indices of Sangam works. Agathanure, Purananure, then Paditipathu, this Aingurunu, etc. Examined 7 indices of this Sangam period, which were available in our linguistic department and in Tamil department of
indexes,
University of Kerala. And by going through that indices, I collected the place names, then flora, fauna, etc., etc. That was the basis of my study. And one thing I have to add here is, in Kerala, L.B. Swami Iyer was the first scholar who wrote a dissertation on some literature. His paper was Pictures of Ancient Kerala Life in 1942. And in 2018, in Nigeria, we produced it. It was the first study in Kerala. After that, Professor Rangalam Munjapillai, who knows Tamil as well as Sanskrit, go through directly read all the Sangam works and wrote a book on titled Pandate Keralam, and Professor M. Elaya Perumal translated it into Tamil as Pandai Keralam.
Okay.
So the data for my paper is mainly from indices of Tamil, this Sangam works.
Okay.
Paditipathu by our Agasthyalingam sir, then Purananure by Elaya Perumal, index of Purananure by Dr. V.I. Subramaniam.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh, just thank you very much. I wanted to know the references. So that's so this is my compliment actually. So I should compliment you, sir, your presentation. I wanted to know the references. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. My references, let me permit to read it. Agathanure edited by Venkata Swami Nadar, not Nadar. South Shaiva Siddhanta Publishing Works, Madras. That is Venkata Swami Nadar. Natar. Kunjanpillai Ilangulam, Annathe Keralam, and it's Tamil translation by Professor Elaya Perumal, Pandai Keralam. Then M.G.S. Narayan, Vedic Puranic Shastric Elements in Tamil Sangam Society and Culture. M.E. Manikavasagam Pillai, Culture of Ancient Cheras. Kovilpatti, Tamil Nadu. Then Purananure by Avve S. Duraiswami Pillai. Then Rahava Iyengar, Some of Kerala and Tamil literature. Ramachandran C.E. Agananura in historical settings, University of Madras. Then Index of Purananura by Subramaniam V.I. and Pictures of Ancient Kerala Life by L.V. Ramaswamy Iyer.
Yes.
You have that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you, sir. SN sir, Professor SN sir. Not audible, sir. So sorry. Not audible, sir.
Sir, sir,
Indel is there.
Sir.
Umaraj from Madurai.
Umaraj sir, yours is not audible. Rangan sir, please, sir.
Rangan sir.
Please unmute your audio, sir.
Okay.
Unmute your audio, sir. Rangan sir.
Okay.
Now it is okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Vanakkam sir.
Vanakkam.
Ramaswamy, yeah.
It is a pleasant time to meet you after a long time. I have I don't think that I have understood whatever you said fully, because you have given a very lot of evidences to come to a conclusion. Just one point I want to just to bring to your notice. You have compared the Sangam language with the, if I am not wrong, with some inscriptions of the Malayalam language, isn't it? If that is the thing, there you show a kind of differences more between these two languages in terms of case markers and other linguistic features. Of course, I don't know whether you have no other choice. One thing is the inscriptions are more influenced by the language of spoken language. But here it is purely a literary language, and that to a poetic composition. The language is more rigid, and it is a kind of very, very dense form. That comparison disturbs me, because on the one side, this is the language is very tight, and the other side, it is a language influenced by the spoken language. Let me give one incident, concrete incident. Now, if you compare written Tamil and Malayalam, the differences will be more. But if you compare the spoken Tamil and the spoken Malayalam, the distance will not be that much. It will be more close. For example, I can give one example. If you take the literary cartoon and if you compare the Malayalam Kaltoon, the difference is more. But if you come to the modern Tamil Kaltoon, spoken language Kaltoon, then it is very nearer. So it seems to me that the comparison between the spoken and the spoken will be more closer. But if you bring the written and the spoken things, just like Tamil spoken language and written Tamil, the differences are more. This is the thing I have in my mind. But I don't know how you can avoid this one, because you have taken Sangam literature as the point of reference for the Malayalam language. So this is the point just I want to make. Thank you very much. See you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Professor Ravisankar, sir.
No, I don't know any question. Actually, just now I heard Professor Rangan sir's comment, but will there be any consistent to prove sir's point? I don't know. The spoken Tamil forms and the written Tamil forms closer to the Malayalam forms. Maybe some examples may be augmenting Professor Rangan sir's point, but there won't be consistency, I think. That is I just want to put that point.
Okay. Please, Umaraj.
Sir, I am from Umaraj from Madurai. So in Madurai, we are doing some excavation sites in Keeladi, Kodumanal, like that. So in classical Tamil, means that we had to take evidence from archaeological sites, that pottery chills and stones, inscription stones, and what is Olachodi, all those things. So whether you compared all those things with your data, that is my point. Though the other evidences also be collaborate with your indexes.
But it only a newspaper only. The documents regarding you collected from the excavation sites, I go through certain cuttings in Hindu papers, not the original text. Whether it is available or not, the findings of the recent excavations carried out by your is it available, sir? In
Keeledi, we are getting lot. In Keeledi, we are getting somewhere. We are getting evidences.
Not all, Maharaj. Not all. Just a few. But at the same time, if they are all available, I think you can come to, some point of discussion.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please, Palani Rajan.
Yes, sir. Sir, we borrowed word from Sanskrit, the word Utsavam. The same word borrowed from Tamil and Malayalam, the different pronunciation. Rangan sir mentioned about Utsavam. No? They don't follow about the Sandhi rules. Always in Malayalam people, they don't follow the Utsavam. The Tamil people spoke about Utsavam. I think I don't understand how the Sandhi rule is break up. Always the Kaltun or Kartun. The same pronunciation followed pattern by the Malayalam people, sir.
Dr. It is okay with reference to your native words, but why do you apply the same type of Sandhi rules to explain the Sanskritized forms in Tamil or Sanskrit forms? We don't have to do that. That is not our job. We have to formulate rules for explaining the Tamil forms or Dravidian roots, right? Anyway, it is left to the users.
Different approach. Okay. Sir, where is Vijay Rajeshwari was in the picture? Vijay Rajeshwari.
Please unmute your audio, Vijay Rajeshwari.
Hello, sir. I am here. I am listening to your lecture and the following discussions. The Keeledi findings have been published as book, sir. Yeah.
Book form.
Yeah, it is in book form. I'll send
Any
it to
language
you.
evidence
It is
from
in PDF form.
So many,
Sorry, sir?
so many archaeological materials there. Whether any reference
language
to
materials.
language, any seeds with language.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
No language materials
we have to
available
do,
in
I
Keeledi.
See, for example, here in our Pattanam excavation,
No language.
we got certain pottery inscriptions with these writings. Ur Pava, in one pottery inscription. Ur Pava, like that. Any inscription in
Such items are not available so far, sir.
Sir, one word is there, Adan, something like that. Adan. It was there in Kerala also. Adan, that the name prefix in the king's name. Adan, something like that. Kerala also it is there. Keeledi also they are using in the Adan. Adan is a word.
Adan in Erascal Cave. Adan.
Yeah.
They
Like
also
that it is there.
Adiyaman. So they at those times they were using the Brahmic script to write the names on the potteries. So nothing other than that. They may have had palm leaf inscriptions. They cannot survive that long. Unless we get the written medium was palm leaves. They did that in palm leaves, but it's hard for us to get anything from the Keeledi. So all we can get from the excavations is that the potteries, they wrote on the pots. That's what we got.
Right.
So it's very hard to get.
Yeah. Sir, Murugayan also doing some work on Nadukal, something like that, no? That
Nadukal is later phenomenon.
Development. Whether he compared or not, that's why I'm asking. That other external evidences also be collaborate with our literature.
One hero stone inscription from this from where a place near Tirunelveli, not Tirunelveli, Madurai district. This Tiyan Andavan Kal. Tiyan Andavan Kal.
Okay.
Kudalur I Kol Pedu Tiyan Andavan Kal. An inscription discovered by Professor Airavada Mahadevan.
Okay.
Airavada Mahadevan. Kudalur I Kol Pedu Tiyan Andavan Kal. He dated approximately circa second century AD, according to his findings. Kudalur I Kol Pedu Tiyan Andavan Kal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, please, Gunjame.
Oh, Dr. Kamachi.
Please.
Yeah, just not a question, but if I'm just wondering, the lectures from such eminent professors that we are having in our weekly webinar, is it possible that we can have it in the print form through our journal? By
Dr. Ravi Shankar,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please,
we are planning to have an executive meeting probably next week or so. I think all these things have to be decided in that meeting. So it is better. We don't want to say anything now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we will discuss and we will inform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just I thought of it just now.
I don't say no. It definitely we should consider.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kamachi, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go to thanks.
With the sorry, sir. With the presentation and the comments raised here, a deep and more studies needed for the identification of Malayalam and Tamil in Sangam literature and to trace the history and the origin of Dravidian. Thank you for the comments raised by the scholars, Professor Karnaran sir, Rangan sir, Balasubramanian sir, Professor Vasu sir, and Damamurthy sir, and other scholars. Thank you very much for actively participate in the discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, madam, Sulochana, madam.
Okay, sir.
Now, now go to vote of thanks.
Well, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஏன்னா ஒவ்வொரு வாரமும் தொடர்ந்து மொழிக்காக சங்கம் வைத்து தமிழ் வளர்த்த மதுரையில் தமிழ் வளர்த்தாங்கன்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஆனா இங்க மொழிகளுக்காக சங்கம் வைத்து மொழியை உலகளவு கொண்டு போற ஒரு சங்கமாக இருக்கு. அந்த அளவில் மொழியியல் பேராசிரியர் ஆளுமைகள் அத்தனை பேருக்கு நான் முதல்ல வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். Good evening, respected dignitaries, professors, all participants and scholars. I'm really grateful for having given the chance to extend a vote of thanks to everyone present here. I, on behalf of Tamil Linguistic Association and the entire team behind today's e-lecture series 20, would like to extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all of you for gracing your important work and sharing with us your finding and opinion today. A big thanks to Professor Naduvattam Gopalakrishnan, Honorable Director, International School of Dravidian Linguistics, Thiruvananthapuram, Special Officer Linguistics Minorities of Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram, Sangam Literatures and Kerala, your years of research, your depth of understanding, your ability to present the subject. I should say that the subject intrigues me and I plan to learn more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I may like to express our sincere thanks to Professor S. Kunjamma, Director, School of Indian Languages, University of Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram, former Head Department of Linguistics, University of Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. We also would like to acknowledge and gratitude to Professor K. Karnathan, President, Tamil Moliyal Sangam, and Secretary, Professor J. Balasubramanian, Tamil Moliyal Sangam, for their presence despite their busy schedule. Many professors, various department of various part of scholars cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take apart the Tamil Moliyal Sangam E-Series beyond your comfort zone. Thank you once again for being with us today. Thank you, sir. I would like to share my opinion in Tamil. I hope you accept it. Thank you, sir. என்னுடைய இன்னைக்கு கருத்து வந்து நான் என்னுடைய மொழியில தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னு ரொம்ப ஆசை. ஏன்னா சார் நிறைய சங்கம் லிட்ரேச்சர் கேரளாவுடைய எப்படி தொடர்பு இருக்குன்றத நிறைய பேசினாங்க. இதனால் நிறைய பேராசிரியர்கள் எல்லாம் பல கேள்விகள் எல்லாம் முன் வச்சாங்க, பல கருத்துக்களை வந்து பகிர்ந்துகிட்டாங்க. அந்த வழியில பேராசிரியர் கார்த்திகேயன் அவர்கள் கேட்டது போல காடா கொன்ற நாடா கொன்ற அவளா கொன்ற மிசியா கொன்ற எவ்வளி ஆடவர் நல்லவர் அவ்வளி வாழிய நலனை என்ற ஔவையார் பாடலை நாம் சொல்றப்ப அது பௌத்த கோட்பாட்டின் வெளிப்பாடாகத்தான் சொல்றாரு. அது ஏதோ பாலி மொழியில் இருந்து வந்ததாகத்தான் இன்னும் பதிவு செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அதே போல நிறைய ப்ரொஃபசர் ராமூர்த்தி சார் சொன்னாங்க சங்கம் குடிகள் எப்படி 4 வகை குடிகள் இருக்கிறது, அதை பத்தி நிறைய மலையாளத்தில் இருக்கிற குடிகளுடைய வகைகள், அங்க எப்படி மக்களுடைய தொழில் பெயர்கள், ஏன்னா பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் சிறப்புவா அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் குடிய பெயர்களே கிடையாது, அவரவர் செய்கிற தொழில் வச்சுதான் அவருடைய பெயர் இருந்தது அப்படின்லாம் சங்கம் லிட்ரேச்சர் வழியாக நாம் தெரிந்து கொள்கிறோம். ஆனாலும் அங்க கேரளத்தில் எப்படி குடிகளுடைய பெயர்கள் இருக்கு, சங்க இலக்கியத்தில் எப்படி பெயர்கள் இருக்கிறதுன்னு பெரிய ஒரு ஒர்க்காக இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கிட்ட பகிர்ந்துகின்ற பேராசிரியர் நடுவட்டம் கோபாலகிருஷ்ணன் சாருக்கு மிக்க நன்றியை சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன் மொழியியல் சங்கம் தொடர்பாக. அதே போல சார் சொன்னாங்க கீழடியினுடைய அகழாய்வுகள் வழியாக தமிழர்களுடைய நாகரிகமும் பண்பாடும் எவ்வளவு தூரம் முன்னெடுத்து கொண்டு போயிருக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்றதுக்கு தொல்காப்பியம் எல்லாம் கிமு 9ஆம் நூற்றாண்டு வரை கொண்டு போயிருக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னு வரலாற்று ஆய்வுகள் சான்றாக கீழடி அகழாய்வுகள் திகழ்கிறது என்பது பெரிய சான்றாக இருக்கிறது. அதைத்தான் கோபாலகிருஷ்ணன் ஐஏஎஸ் அவர்கள் கூட பாலசுப்ரமணியன் ஐஏஎஸ் கூட இருக்கிறாங்க. பாலகிருஷ்ணன் சிந்துவெளி பண்பாட்டின் திராவிட அடித்தளம் த ஜேர்னி ஆஃப் சிவிலைசேஷன் இண்டஸ் டு வைகை என்ற புத்தகத்துல கூட உலகளாவிய நிலத்தில் வந்து மக்களுடைய குடிகள் சங்க இலக்கியத்தில் இருக்கிற பெயர்கள் நிறைய உலக அளவில் இருக்கின்றத பெரிய ஒரு ஆய்வாக ஆராய்ச்சியாக உழைப்பின் வெளிப்பாடாக அந்த புத்தகத்தை தமிழ் உலகுக்கு கொடுத்திருக்கிறாங்க. இன்னும் தமிழர்களுடைய சங்க இலக்கியத்தில் வர்ற பெயர்கள் எல்லாம் உலகளவில் பறந்து இருக்கு என்பதற்கு நிறைய கண்டுபிடிப்புகள் எல்லாம் புத்தகங்கள் எல்லாம் வெளிவந்திருக்கிறது. இன்னும் ஆராய்ச்சிகள் மேற்கொண்டு இருக்கிறார்கள். ஏன்னா நிறைய சங்க இலக்கிய பெயர்கள் வந்து நம்ம ஊர்கள் இருக்கிறதை போல நிறைய உலகளவில் பறந்து இருக்கிறது. யாதும் யாவரை கேள்வியர் கூட ஐநாவில் பொறிக்கப்பட்டதும் நாசா விண்வெளி ஆராய்ச்சி நிலையத்தை ஔவையாருடைய சிலை இருப்பதும் கூட தமிழருடைய பெருமையாகத்தான் பண்பாட்டின் அடித்தளமாக நாம் பார்க்கிறோம். அந்த வகையில் இன்றைய மொழியியல் தமிழ் மொழியியல் சங்கத்தின் வழியாக சங்கம் லிட்ரேச்சர்ஸ் என்ற கேரளா என்று ஒரு பொருண்மையில் நம்மோடு நிறைய கருத்துக்களை பகிர்ந்து கொண்ட மாபெரும் பேராசிரியர் ஆளுமை அவர்களுக்கு மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை நன்றி சொல்வது பெரும் கடப்பாடு உடையவளாக திகழ்கிறேன். அந்த வகையில் தமிழ் மொழியியல் சங்கத்தின் நிறைய பேராசிரியர்கள், பேராசிரியர் அரங்கன் சார், பேராசிரியர் ராஜேந்திரன் சார், பேராசிரியர் டேவிட் பிரபாகர் சார், ஜெயகிருஷ்ணன் சார், விஜயராஜேஸ்வரி அவங்க, முனியன் சார், வாசு ரங்கநாதன் சார், தொடர்ந்து நான் இதுல பாக்குறேன் நிறைய ராமமூர்த்தி சார், நிறைய நான் வந்து மொழியியலை இளைய தலைமுறைகள் கற்றுக்கொள்வதற்கான ஒரு வாய்ப்பாக இந்த மொழியியல் சங்கம் தொடர்ந்து உரையரங்குகளை நடத்தி கொண்டு இருப்பதை பெருமையாக கொள்கிறோம். அதனால அந்த வகையில் மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை இந்த மொழியியல் சங்கம் தொடர்ந்து நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கும் மொழியியல் பேராசிரியர் ஆளுமைகளுக்கும் இந்த வாய்ப்பை நல்கிய அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை நன்றி. வணக்கம் சார்.
வணக்கம். வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
நன்றி.
நன்றி சார்.
ப்ரொஃபசர் நடுவட்ட சார், தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச் சார். தேங்க்யூ. சுலோச்சனா மேடம், தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். தேங்க்யூ.
ஆமா சார், சொல்ல மறந்து போயிட்டேன்னு தெரியல. ஏன்னா டெக்னிக்கல் சப்போர்ட்டிங் பிளஸ் நிறைய ஆர்கனைசிங் பண்றது குமாரன் சார் கொள்கை பரப்பு செயலாளர் போல மொழியியல் சங்கத்தில் ஒரு பரவுதலாக செயல்பட்டு இருக்காங்க. அந்த மொழியியல் தமிழ் மொழியியல் சங்கத்தில் இருக்கும் பேராசிரியர் ஆளுமைகள் அத்தனை பேருக்கும் நான் மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டேன். ஏன்னா பல தகவல்களை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளும் தளமாக அந்த மொழியியல் சங்கம் இருக்கிறது பெரிய நல்ல ஒரு வாய்ப்பாக இருக்கு இந்த கொரோனா